Hello, Wise-ish family. Welcome. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Happy every day, happy every moment, happy whatever. Despite all the incredible transitions that we're going through in the world right now, especially in the United States of America, what an uprising. And how do you show up being the real you in the midst of what maybe the world will call a crisis or the media will call a crisis? How are you showing up? How do you deal with the information that you're receiving, the protests, the changes, the realities of how things are, and knowing deep down inside in your gut something has to give? And by now we all know that the giving first has to start with me. So what changes have you adopted in your life so far? What have you done for you that's going to be your own personal protest against certain things that you've been doing, patterns of thoughts that you've been having over a long period of time that you know are systemic within you? Systemic thoughts that are bringing your energy down. What have you been up to? So here we go, we can see in the world, or we can see in the United States of America, there are things that are just plotted in a way that it isn't for the benefit of all people. We know that. We've known that for hundreds of years. And here we are 400 years later for the African Americans, where Caucasians, Indians, Chinese, old, young, rich, poor, celebrities, unknown people, politicians. Mitt Romney was on the streets yesterday, a Republican. And everyone's walking. Why? They're saying something's got to give. I don't want to be this person, and I don't want to support being a person that supports something that isn't right. They say to be silent is complicit. So to what extent are you even silent about your own stuff? To what extent are you silent about your own stuff? And you're not addressing your own stuff. What are you ready to let go so you can be the real you in the midst of crisis? Because sometimes crisis just makes you perpetuate the same old personality, the same old energy, because it could feed into your fear, not your love. And yes, we're looking on the streets of Washington, D.C., the streets of Los Angeles, the streets of Philadelphia, the streets of Chicago, the streets of Seattle, the streets of everywhere in this country, where individuals are rising up and becoming more wise-ish. Something is going, something is being released, something is letting go. And at the same token, we also have to take in what needs to go forward in our lives. Meditation, 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 meditation will help you to become so clear, to understand who you need to be when stuff gets rough. Because when it gets rough, it could be the fear and not the flight that responds. And that fear could add to the problem. So how do I get back to the real me? First thing, always keep going inwards and asking yourself the right questions. One of the questions that I asked this morning, who is it that I really wish to be? And you just ask that question from deep within your heart. Who do I wish to be? Has nothing to do with what the world says. You're just going inside. You begin to settle in a quiet place, that place within you that's just, it's like the child in you, right? So it has a lot of love, it has a lot of peace, it has a lot of power. And then you ask the question, who is it that I actually wish to be? And you sit with that question. And whatever's the crisis, the real you will emerge. There's going to be a need for letting go, and there's going to be for bringing on something new. I was listening to a story of a friend of mine who was relocating, and she said, well, I can't take all this furniture with me, and I'm going to another state, so I want to just start over fresh, so I'm just going to give away or sell everything that I have. But she kept having good wishes about her relocation. And as a result, the person who actually owned her place, came in because he knew she was leaving. And he says, you know what, could you just leave all the furniture here? And, I want to buy all of this so I can rent the apartment just the way it is because it's perfect. Not only did she leave with only 2 suitcases in her car, but she left with a big fat check. You know why? She was asking who she wanted to be. She was responding to what she wanted to be. She wasn't carrying a lot of her old stuff. And one of the things that hold us back is all that old stuff. So fear feeds in the old stuff. And if you're in a mode of fear, it's not the real you. And if you're in the midst of the crisis, it's just an old you feeding the crisis. So what do you wish to be? And what are you willing to let go? Enjoy this meditation from my letting go. From my album, Inclusion Revolution, Together with Love. Enjoy it. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you? And who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you. And you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time, did you let go of enough stuff? Did you feel the real you, the part of you that is really needed to actually face this current times that we're in? And if you're ever feeling out there alone in the midst of all of this chaos and changes that are happening so rapidly, you aren't alone. The whole world is with you on this journey. If you're in the United States of America, everyone in America is feeling similar feelings. Whether it's the feeling of fear or the feeling of anger or the feeling of anguish or the feeling of, I don't know, confusion. For the last few years we've been through so much, and maybe as a country we've lost sight on a deep level of where we need to be and how we need to show up. And it's all good, because whenever things start to shuffle around the way that they are, it's actually helping us to see things that we've missed, to help us to move into places that we need to move into. The fact that so many people are coming up in this moment of crisis, there's really a lot of peace, a lot more peace than what the media portrays. And forgive me, because I'm not really looking at the media a lot, but when I do look at my Twitter, I see certain things and I'm going, there's so much more. There's so much more happening. So ask yourself today, who do you wish to be? Especially in the midst of the great changes that are occurring in the world. Whether you are an awakened being, consider yourself awakened, or whether you're trying to wake up, or you're just seeking. You're seeking some answers to the crises that are pending or upon us. Ask yourself, who do I wish to be at this particular time? Who do I wish to be at this particular time? So let's end with our good wish for the morning. And glad that you could join us for your Wise-ish on your America Meditating format. So here's your good wish for today. You are the one who becomes free from all complications. It feels so good as it entered my system. You are the one who becomes free from all complications, and you experience the reward of being complete inside because you hold a vision of your perfection. You are the one who becomes free from all complications, and you experience the reward of being complete inside because you hold a vision of your inner perfection. Thank you so much for joining us for your 15-minute power boost on Wise-ish. Tell your friends. Hope to see you. Don't forget to tune into America Meditating Radio. We've got some awesome guests coming up. Some amazing, amazing interviews. So lots of love. Be safe. Figure out yourself. It's a great, great opportunity to rise up higher than you've ever risen before. Take care, everyone. Lots of love.